doing remaster projects. It's actually more expensive. It seems crazy to say this, but it's harder to fully redo the art of a game that already exists than it is to create impressive art from scratch. Because you can use techniques to repeat things, and you can find things that you can like do in a unique game where you're making everything exactly as you want it, and you can kind of like find creative solutions. When you're just boosting the quality of the existing art and it has to match the original, then there's no shortcuts. So the shortcuts we took when developing Prime 2 was like unique layouts of texture UVs so that we could create patterns and configurations. If you tried to boost those, you literally just have to build them for real at a high quality bar, which means that the techniques that were the cost saving to do the original art don't apply. And so I don't know. I mean, it's like it's an expensive endeavor, I would think, to rebuild something that is absolutely unique, and then also have the and not try to find ways of repeating from Dark World to Light World. So I hope we get it. It'd be thrilling to me to have it, but I don't necessarily know that it solves it. Basically, there's some stuff that just bringing over the control scheme updates that were made
Yeah,
for
for Prime
Prime
Remastered.
Remastered. Yeah. Um, Checkpoints being one, some form of difficulty tuning. I don't know anything that wouldn't compromise the identity of the game, outside of just the quality of life features with the control scheme, and just making it so that it's less frustrating to die and be reset to a checkpoint that's or not a checkpoint but a save station that's further back. My frustration is mostly with the artifact system, the keys. Is just but it's a late game thing that lets you take advantage of the light suit to find the keys. But I think that maybe there's something that could be done with revealing that there is some form of disturbance in the light world, slash maybe even more of an indication of where the dark keys are to help guide players to be able to find them more quickly and effectively in the late game. Prime 2 is the game that it is, though, so it's like you don't want to compromise the integrity of what it is in the past, because that improvement may actually in fact anger a bunch of people that liked the way that it was, and because it's a classic remake you don't want to change it fundamentally. But I think that subtle things could be done.
If they do a remaster, I'm just super excited to see all of that amazing visual design in HD. It would be gorgeous.
I would love to see the ings get crazy realized, like really looking inky and gross and like horror. Like if they could, like one thing we never really got to do with the ings because they're black, right? But
Mm.
like you want them to be that like shiny, inky black, If you could, by the way, cut into the Star Trek Next Generation episode Skin of Evil and show Armis right now, I would love that because it's actually the visual I have in my head. And if they could do that, like with a Prime 2 remaster, is like make them like inky, but still like really reflective. And that inkiness actually, we have like a lot of puddles in Prime 2 that kind of do it, and they does it well, especially for the time. But if they can really like make it kind of merge and look like a kind of gooey, liquidy thing, I think that would be incredible, especially on those like ing horse guys that are like the 5-legged dudes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if they could like really horror that out, it'd be so amazing. I'd love it. I think that part of the reason for redoing the first one was almost as a way of proving out and bringing back the tech to do 4. And so I could see a world where they don't remaster 2 and 3. I would rather never see it than see it be fully outsourced. I want Retro's hands on it if they're doing it. What do you think, Zoid?
I agree. Yeah, I think Retro will know how to bring that game into HD and make it really work.
I would like to see the difficulty, which I've gone on record as kvetching about a few times. I'd like to see the difficulty more even, and an enhanced tutorial for some of the more difficult boss encounters, I would say. There's not a lot I could say. They like to say in sports, leave it all on the field. At the end of the day, when you walk off the field, you have nothing left to give. And I think Metroid Prime 2, given where Retro Studio was in its maturation and its culture and its talent, that was an excellent effort, top to bottom. I can't say, if we'd only have 6 more months, or if we had only been able to do this, if we'd only done this with the multiplayer. I honestly have absolutely no regrets in that regard.